Scythe Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in, 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 tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in, tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Cardio with your host, Doug, the Judge Stockton, and co-hosted by Mr. Jeffrey Fernandez. How's it going, Jeffrey?
Good. How you doing, Doug?
Frustrated. Back at my main computer here, trying to get stuff worked out. Let's see if I can't. Jeffrey Fernandez. How's it going, Jeffrey? Let's see here.
Good.
Main computer here. All right. Let's some people hit something in the chat. Let's see if my chat is working. I got everything set up. I need to share it since my damn phone did not want to do cut and paste. Here, trying to get stuff worked out. Let's see if I'm trying to do some stuff here. So I'm trying to get going. So what you been up to, Jeffrey?
Pretty eventful few days, I guess, out here.
All right.
I'm sure many of you guys seen, I put it on a live video on Friday. 2 offices down from where I work at, there was a fire. So, man, it just smoke everywhere. I go into the warehouse, I look up, I see smoke, and I'm like, holy crap. Did I accidentally turn on the heaters? Because there's actually heaters in the warehouse, but for whatever reason we don't turn them on. I don't know if it's like gas, the gas power or whatever. So we never turn them on. And I was like, holy crap, did I turn those on? And I was like, no. So I checked and it wasn't. And I'm like looking out of the back, out of the front of the office, and sure enough, a couple offices down, there was just nothing but smoke just spewing out of the building. And I was like, holy crap, we need to get out of here. And so I just turned I actually tried calling 911, and they put me on hold, which was kind of odd. But
911, please hold.
Yeah. I'm like, wait. Oh, okay. But I mean, they probably had other people calling, probably about the same thing. And I was like, okay, well, I can't wait here on hold. I got to do stuff. And I was like getting people out of the building, and just making sure. There was a lot of smoke accumulating in the warehouse. So I opened up the back doors, the front door was wide open, and luckily the smoke was, in and out of our building. Soon enough the firefighters came. Poor guy who owns the office 2 doors down, they had to bring out like this big old metal grinder, and I guess he wasn't there.
So they had to cut into it.
Yeah, they had to cut into the bay door, and as soon as he did that, man, just smoke rushed out. And they brought this crane out, and they were dousing it from the top. And we still don't know what happened. But luckily it was kind of contained, and it didn't go into our building. So thankful for that. Thankful that the sprinklers didn't turn on, which I was kind of surprised. There was a lot of smoke and the sprinklers didn't turn on, but luckily it didn't turn on, because it would have got everything doused and wet.
You do know how those work, right? So the sprinklers aren't like a movie. They are not all tied together.
Okay.
Only one that heats up enough to break the glass is one that turns on.
Okay.
So
I wonder if it inside that particular building that the sprinklers turned on.
That may have turned on inside that space.
Yeah. Well, no, you know what? As a matter of fact, one of the firemen, they were talking amongst themselves actually with a group of firemen. Said, "Yeah, I went to go turn off the sprinklers, and there were 6 people working in there still." We were like, "What the hell?" Like they don't, they didn't smell the smoke, they couldn't see the smoke, and I don't know what it was, but that was pretty funny. Another pretty hilarious part was our FedEx driver, Vincent. He'll usually text me when he's coming around the building. If he's coming around back, he'll say, "Hey, meet me in the back."
Who's that?
So this is Vincent. He's our
Okay.
FedEx driver.
Okay.
So I get a message from him, and he's like, "Meet me in the back." I'm like, "Oh, I don't think he's there yet." So I run to the back, and he's driving, and he's pulling up slowly, seeing all the smoke come out, and then he's all, "I'm just gonna drop this off." I'm like, "Wait, you gonna drop this off?" And so he pulls into the bay, drops off the boxes. We had a delivery come in, and then he says he sees the camera, and then he says, "Tell him FedEx still delivered it." I was like, I guess if it absolutely positively had to be there, he'll make sure it gets done. But I found that pretty hilarious that he was still doing that, even with the place, being as smoky as it was.
Yep. No. Casey Custer popping back in there. Hope he's ready for the
Oh,
new car show season. He's the guy that helps me out with the car shows.
oh, cool.
So he's one of my assistants. So yeah, hopefully he's getting ready for that coming up. Anyway, speaking of places on fire, we'd like to talk to about our sponsors today: Crossfire Car Audio, Voodoo Customs, and E-Box. Without them, it makes it more difficult to put on this show. So we appreciate them. And if you guys get an opportunity to purchase something from somebody, purchase it from somebody who supports the things that you like to do. All right. Oh yeah, what did Manny say here? CES and your favorite taco spot. Missed you this year, Jeffrey.
I was there. I
You
was
were.
at CES.
Oh,
I was just I'm taking this like hiatus on social media right now.
uh huh.
So it felt weird, like I wasn't posting anything, and normally for CES I put a disclaimer up on my stories that says you're about to see like a whole bunch of different stories that be prepared, but
Yeah.
I didn't do that. And I was like, you know what, I've kind of been taking this hiatus for a while now, unless it's like, DB drag racing related or boom and audio.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, yeah, I didn't post anything, and you know what, it felt pretty good. It felt kind of weird, but it felt pretty good. I mean, I got some pictures if you want me to send you some, but yeah, I was there. Bummer.
Oh. So, did you get your taco spot?
Taco spot. No. It
Okay.
was it was so cold there that I think I'm just gonna give up going to Vegas in
In
January
January?
altogether. Yeah, it was so cold. Man, I didn't even want to get out of my room. I was that cold.
It was that cold, huh?
Yes.
Um.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if you guys didn't see Jeffrey's building on fire, all that stuff, that was definitely interesting. Jeffrey's always got the coolest stories.
No.
Um, Justin asked, any shows in the works before Autorama Doug? Actually, I was contacting some people today. We may have something in February and March. So just kind of put fillers out there with our normal people. Spencer Stanislav, that was a crazy live.
Oh yeah, I saw him on there.
Was he on there? I
Yeah.
popped on for just a quick second. I forgot what I was doing. I think I was looking for a bowling tournament this weekend to go bowl, and because Facebook's one of the best places to look at tournaments, or I can get on there and hop on and hit somebody up and say, "Hey, what tournaments are there this weekend?" Um, Justin, if you look hard enough, my schedule's been out for a long time. Chris Gregory popping in finally says, "Hey, we have a Tennessee schedule somewhat locked down. We still need to put together a schedule where Jeffrey, myself, and Chris can all meet up to do our multi-location event, do base race and top dog, and see how that turns out. We'll do a multi-venue cash days."
What? Nice.
Um. Anyway, Justin, my shows are the same time every year, on the same days every year. So if you look, I believe Fresno. You know what? I'm even gonna make it easier on you. I'm gonna look it up and tell you to make it easier on here. So we'll go Sonic FX. Oh wait, no, I don't want the Facebook group. I want regular Sonic FX. Audio.com. Enter. And upcoming events. So, that's Autorama. So let's go here, June. So the first Friday of the month, we are in. Oh wait, let's go July because I was gone for June. So the first Friday of the month, we are in Fresno. The second Saturday of the month, we are in Reno. The third Saturday of the month, we're in Fresno, it looks like. Yep.
What month?
Or, sorry, Sacramento. So we're on first Friday of the month in Fresno, second Saturday of the month in Sparks, and third Saturday of the month, it looks like Sacramento.
Not this month, right?
It looks like the fourth Saturday of the month is Fresno. And that all starts in May.
May.
That's May through August. So there you go. Chris Gregory says he has a new location with a strong Wi-Fi. Kick ass. Starts in May. Tennessee will win, according to David Hunt. Chris Gregory, deep is the snow. Yes,
Wow.
8 inches.
Yeah.
He says Gregory's got 8 inches. Last on Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember if it's Monday or Tuesday last week. I got 14 inches of snow in like an hour and a half.
Wow.
So, and that was in Reno.
Oh yeah, the Reno area. I saw a couple of videos from that area. It had a bunch of snow.
Yeah, 14 inches in an hour and a half.
Wow.
It was awesome. Pretty cool. Be Busy Audio is watching, according to Matthew Busby. I asked him to come on, but he didn't respond to me till 5 minutes after we already started the podcast. Rosa wants to know, let's see, between 5 and 8 inches, depends on where you live. We officially had 1.6 inches. Eric, what's that, between your legs?
Oh, no.
Which location has the best Wi-Fi? For who? All my places, I have really good Wi-Fi. I'm in California, so we have good Wi-Fi. Tristan says, hey, how's everybody going tonight? Chris, Rosa wants to know where your schedule is. David Wayne Hunt says, wow, I guess. My parents in Alabama got snow.
Oh. Yeah.
And Matthew Busby with my bad for responding to my text 5 minutes into the show already. Rosa says she's working with Pop-Tart with his location. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's to Rosa from Chris. And snow in Texas. Did it snow where you're at?
Oh, yeah.
It did?
Yeah, just about a couple of inches, I would say. But yeah, everything was iced over this morning. Yeah, it seemed like it was worse than it was, but it was really, really cold, and the snow was coming down, so it wasn't too bad.
Tristan says you guys need to come to Barbados and enjoy the sun
What?
and some rum cokes.
They're like, "What snow? What snow? What are you guys talking about?"
What's this snow thing that you guys are talking about?
Arctic blast, I think they're calling it.
Is that what they're calling it?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't watch TV, so yeah. So anyway, I've been working on my schedule. It's gonna remain the same as it has every year. Nothing new right currently. I may pick up a couple of car shows. It's one thing that may happen. And some of you guys already know. In Canada had a serious snowstorm.
Oh.
Hey, well, in California or in Texas, when you get 1.5 inches of snow, that's a serious snowstorm.
That's
um,
considered a snow day for
that is,
California. Everybody stays home.
yeah. Tennessee minus 15 and wind chill tomorrow morning.
Ooh.
Moises Alejandre popping in. Um. Anyway, so some of you guys might know, but my wife found a really nice house in Wichita,
Oh.
and it checks all of our boxes,
Wow.
which is not easy to do if you've ever met my wife. So, for what the hell says no conflicts between Iasca finals this year and DB Drag. That's up to Iasca.
Mm.
I can't control what they do. Minus 40 today in Canada, says Spencer.
Holy. I think we're getting that cold blast that they're getting first. It's eventually coming to us. So,
It's just
wow,
warming up on its way to you.
yeah, yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So my wife found a house out in Wichita. So,
Wow.
and not only that, but she found me a job that
She did.
she did that pays like
Nice.
40,000 more a year than my job here.
Wow.
Yeah. David Wayne Hunt says, yeah, that's supposed to happen up in Canada, not in Tennessee.
Yeah.
There's no mountains between Canada and the Gulf. You must
Yeah.
be joking. There's a huge range of mountains there. Takes a long time for you all to move. That's coming from Rosa. Yeah, there's no telling.
Yeah, is this happening soon or is this
There's no way to tell. It's very up in the air.
Mhm.
If that happens,
Mhm.
I'm working on some stuff to continue DB drag on the West Coast. So, working on a replacement to fill in if I am to leave. That way we can keep the DB Drag World Finals over on the West Coast still,
Yeah.
No matter what happens, I'm going to fulfill my obligations to to my show list for this season. So, Rosa with the broken
Wow.
heart. Anyway, so that's what I got going on with me. We hope to, like I said, we hope to make this this transition's more about my wife and I have one of our kids in Wichita, and she's the most likely to have kids, as you know. No, that's why it's called Tornado Alley. The moisture is able to go from the Gulf all the way to the North and South Dakota. Yes, but there's plenty of mountains in North and South Dakota. Christian Jensen popping in. Robert Carey, every time we send people to that town, they come back with a bad story. That's from Robert Carey.
What? Really?
I don't know. Like I said, for us, if things worked out for you, you'd want to be where your grandkid is, right, Jeffrey? So
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? And I just recently had a grandchild, so
right.
my wife and I were kind of, I don't know if I should mention this right now, but yeah, we were like, wow, especially there, she gets really emotional and
Oh
she's
yeah.
like, she really wants to, be with our granddaughter and,
Yep.
and our daughter. So I know the feeling. I
Yep.
definitely know the feeling.
She now your daughter's not. Is that you and your wife's, or is she from another?
From another
Yeah,
relationship.
another relationship.
Yeah.
But your wife's been involved with her most of her life.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she considers her the same as her own kid.
Oh yeah.
So he said, Matthew Busby says, figures as soon as I come back, you're leaving. Doug is moving to Kansas.
Oh,
Jeffrey is moving to LA. You
what?
guys just gonna switch?
We're gonna switch.
I'll start doing shows at Crossfire Car Audio, and he'll
Wow.
start doing them in Northern Cal. No,
Might happen.
you never know.
You never
It's
know.
yes. The thing is life goes on. Wichita, for me at least, besides for having my wife or my kid, um, that's actually a bowling hub. And
Oh.
it's a new market that I don't got to compete with anybody except for Midwest SPL in that area. So that's really big out there. And I can, grow that like I did California, hopefully, make it into its own thing. And if I do a good enough job, have satellite locations, West Coast, Midwest, and the East Coast, you know? Uh, Doug will be doing Slam every year. Slam is not inviting DV Drag anymore.
Yeah, it's
So
complicated.
it is. Got to do what's best for your families, even though we are selfish to want you to stay. That's what it is. But like I said, it's cool. Like I said, I want to. I'm getting close to retirement age. I want to go bowl during I want to bowl on the senior PBA tour. As a matter of fact, I got a senior PBA event coming up here in February 16th, 16, 17, 18. So that'll be cool. Let's see if I can hold my own against the old farts. You know, um, I bowled a tournament this weekend. I did okay. I was profit money. Michael Longstreet with damn, not the senior league. As a matter of
What
fact, I am that old.
when does that start? Like what age?
For almost all sports, the senior division starts at 50 years old.
50. Okay.
Yep.
I know for jujitsu,
Uh,
like the older uh competitors, they're under masters, and that usually starts around 40.
oh, okay.
So so
Yeah,
we're not in there with the young guns,
dude.
young
So the
kids.
problem when you get older isn't so much that you can't compete with them; you just can't recover. They're going to be quicker
Yeah.
than you. You
Oh yeah.
have better tricks, but when you're hurt, you don't heal up the next day and go right back out and do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly why the matches are less time as well, so it's not as long.
We can do Tristan from Barbados says we can do a DB drag event once a year to raise funds for Doug, and the family can return to the old town once a year.
Hmm.
uh, so but no, like I said, I would like to go to Barbados or have them come out here to Autorama or something. And Autorama would be a great opportunity for them to come out and learn and be with some of the judges for DB Drag, right? You'll have three of the World Finals judges right here at one location. So you'll have Jeffrey, myself, and Ray Choi, along with Roberto. He's the judge for Mexico. So he'll be here. So, I mean, you definitely have a lot of opportunities to meet some of the top judges if you go to Autorama. Besides for that, we're going to have Iasca and T.W.I.C.A at that same event. Michael Longstreet wants to know, have you ever had a bowling alley comp? Like kind of how IFO be with drag
Ah.
racing and stereo comp? um, Tiffany says that Tristan and her are working on the Autorama thing. Um, so the problem with that, with doing it at a bowling alley, is most bowling alleys are in a residential area.
Hmm.
Not very often are they in commercial areas, and if they are in commercial areas, they're backed right up to residential because they need to be in an area that has a lot of suburbans. It's definitely a suburban sport, so it's hard to do that. Let's see here, Justin. If you end up moving this year, you can keep your truck and trailer at my house. I have
Ah.
a ton of parking on 5 acres. I won't even charge you rent.
Wow. There you go.
So the house we're looking at has a 4-car garage. I'm just gonna say that with a driveway that'll park 6 or 7 cars.
No, but if you want to do shows in
Oh,
California,
got you.
you don't have to worry about bringing your equipment. It's already technically going to be there with
Well,
Justin.
so that's the problem is I would still need my equipment in Wichita. So
Get two setups. I got
I
one
might
setup
have
in
to.
California and then
Yep.
one here in Texas.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Michael Longstreet, he wouldn't be able to focus. Uh, would want to bowl instead of judge. Nope, no, that isn't necessarily true. I am very good at focusing whatever I am doing. So, yep, Justin said yes, that's exactly what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's what, 2 hours north of Sacramento? Whew, that would
Oh,
be
that's kind of rough.
that would be rough. I'd have to fly into Sacramento, drive 2 hours north, pick up everything, and then drive back to Sacramento, and then drive back there to drop it off, and then drive back to. Yeah, I. Oh, he says 50 minutes. I actually have a friend that has a farm right
Hmm.
within like 10, 15 minutes of me where I live now, and obviously his farm has more than enough area that I could park my trailer. That's actually where I park my trailer when I have my Trans Am still in my driveway. So, but currently my Trans Am's been at the guy's place, and he said, "Oh, I'm working on it right now." So, hopefully he is working on my Trans Am to get it done. So how's your wife doing on? I saw another live feed with your wife and Eric doing some practicing.
Oh yeah. You know,
Oh,
they're
hold on a second.
oh.
So nobody's gonna mention the fresh hoodie. What hoodie are you talking about? Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am? No, it would be an older version. I have the 74. The first Smokey and the Bandit, first and second Smokey and the Bandit is a 77, and then he did a 79 for the third one. So Tyler says he's laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing. So this is my hoodie from 2019 World Finals. I don't know if you guys can see that. So
I had
DB
one of
Drake.
those. I was debating whether or not to put it on today.
Yeah, this is what they gave all the judges.
Mm-hmm.
So I was outside fishing prior to doing this. So since I was out fishing, I was wearing my hoodie and I was just too lazy to take it off because that would take time and effort, and I'm lazy. And instead, I was setting up my new my Jeffrey's been here, so I got two 43-inch TVs in front of me. I got my lighting. I had my camera disconnected. I had my mouse disconnected. I had both TVs disconnected. So I literally had nothing connected to the computer because the
Mm.
last time I was here was before World Finals. As a matter of fact, it was episode 33, and we had Chris Gregory on the last show when I was at home. So
Are you still on the poker table?
I am still on the poker table. Yep, I built this
I
poker table in 2011.
I
So
saw that. I was like, what?
oh
Nice.
oh yeah yeah I didn't I forgot that Jeffrey might like poker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he used to go play down in was it the City of Commerce casino?
Yeah, every once in a while. There was a Native American casino near actually where I lived at that had poker there. They since then got rid of it, but yeah, seemed like I was there like all the time.
Yeah,
It was fun.
yeah, I heard you a few times. I seen a couple stacks of chips that you
Oh
may have
yeah.
shown on your story or whatever.
I actually played this last week too when I was in Vegas. I played at
Okay.
the Horseshoe. Did pretty
Oh.
good. And then the next day, I got killed. But
you,
first day was pretty nice.
so the horseshoe, that's the old part of Vegas, right?
No,
Over on Fremont.
it was no, it's actually on the strip. Bally's got bought out and it's now the Horseshoe Las Vegas. So it's right there on Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. It's just called the Horseshoe now.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Eric says he remembers a show. That's the show where he made Chris Gregory mad at him.
What?
I don't know which show he's talking about.
Which show was that?
Maybe that's the 2019 World Finals.
Mm,
That must be that. But yeah, so the judges were given, and they're all embroidered nice and everything.
yeah.
I believe that year we gave the competitors for like points champions hoodies also, embroidered hoodies.
I was debating whether or not to turn that into a jacket. I don't know. Sometimes I don't really like wearing hoodies.
Okay.
The last hoodie I got, I thought about making into a jacket. They did really nice. So I was thinking, like, anytime I have this hoodie, I want to get turned into a jacket. I can just take it to that place.
Do you have so? I got the contact that Celise uses, and I just have to call them up, and they'll make the jacket or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, because that's the same people I use for my points champion jacket.
Hmm. Oh, you
So,
talking about like a leather jacket? Or no,
or
no, no,
it could be any jacket, but yeah, but I
ah,
do my leather jackets there.
yeah. Oh, and so they would have all the artwork and all that, right?
Yes, they have all the artwork,
Oh,
which is the important part.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's the hard
and
part too.
then they just charge you for the stitches instead of the $75 for design.
Hmm. Something to think about.
Jimbo's back hatch base race, 2019 finals. Where was the 2019 finals at? Is that the one where we had you had to go to multiple
I think
locations?
I think his that's when his back hatch I think popped up. Was that in Kentucky? I think it
Hmm.
might have been.
It might have been.
Was that satellites? It had I think it was satellites. Yeah.
But is that the year that we had to go to both locations, or was that like 2021?
Hmm.
They all run together. I've
So
been doing this since
look.
2005, so yeah, we're running up on my 20th anniversary for World Finals coming up here pretty soon, so that's cool.
Wow.
If you guys have any questions for us, go ahead and hit us up. Want to know more about Jeffrey or myself? Hey, Jeffrey, why don't you tell us about your rabbit? What was the um, yeah? Tyler says my old age is kicking in. Why don't you tell us about your rabbit and how that all came to be and whatnot?
The rabbit. You talking about the Volkswagen?
Yeah.
I think it's in its like 10th reincarnation right now.
Oh, really? So it's out being reincarnated, huh?
Yes, for those of you competing in USACI, it'll be a USACI finals.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be ran by Roger's son, believe it or not.
Oh,
Team Crossfire Christian. He's going to be running it. He's 15 years old. So
okay.
he's Roger definitely passing it down, literally passing it down. It went from like the team and then now it's like down to family. But oh, and I mean you kind of heard it here first. You might have seen it in the live video that I've done with the base rate practice, but Roger was doing base race in the rabbit.
Oh, was he?
He's doing like 167 burps, and he's only base racing 20s, and he just wants to be in there being competitive, so he wants to throw his hat in the 20s, and he was base racing on a live video I did of us all base race practicing, but so you're gonna see the rabbit in some form of another, hopefully, for sure Nusaki, and then DB drag maybe. We'll see. But so yeah, the rabbit was, when did I get it? Well, I won
Oh,
my first
4?
championship in '05.
Yeah.
So I recall New Year's Eve. So that was going into 2015. I was telling a friend of mine, yeah, I got this car that's being delivered to me right now. And then I think who had it before me was it Jacob? It
Fincher?
it was, yeah, I think Jacob Fincher was actually the one who
Mm-hmm.
trailered it to my house, but it was ran by we call him Jarfunks. Jared, man. sorry, I forgot his last name, but he had it before I did, and he took it to finals, I think, one year. He was back then he was running like the Audiobahn microwave amps, the
Yep.
5K amplifiers that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And when when I received it, I was like thinking, okay, am I gonna get those hand me down too? And I was like thinking, oh man, I kind of, heard a lot of not good stuff about those amps, but luckily it didn't happen. I think we were actually waiting on a container to come to get more of the amplifiers because I think it was only four of the
The
amplifiers at the time.
microwaves.
Yeah, the microwaves.
Yeah.
So we were gonna get more, but I think the container never came or had a long time to come. So I didn't actually run the Audioban. Um, but when I received it, not really to talk about jar funks, but he had rhino lined everything. He rhino
Oh yeah.
lined inside the box,
Oh yeah.
on the face.
Outside the car.
So, um, you basically want to keep everything smooth on the inside. So we think that's what might have hurt his score when he took it to finals.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows, but so yeah, I recall when I took it over, man, I hit the
A lot of
grinder,
sanding.
a lot of sanding. No, this was the grinder at
That's
first.
right, because it was
Yeah,
the rhino liner.
it
Hey,
was the rough stuff.
Tristan wants to know, was that a golf? Was it VW
Mm.
golf? Or
Uh, no, no,
it was a rabbit, right?
yeah, it's a
So
Volkswagen
so
Rabbit.
Cabriolet was the drop top version, and then it would be
Yes.
just the rabbit, and then I think the golfs came later.
And I think it's a totally different shape altogether, different model.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I believe so. Yeah.
So, yeah, so Matthew says that Volkswagen has been around. And then Michael Longstreet says, damn, you bought a car and didn't know what was in it? Baller.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely that car has been around and she's still, putting it out. So, you
Tyler
know,
seems to think smoothing out the inside of a car can be from point 0.1 to point 0.5. Tyler, I think you're wrong. I think the gain could be considerably more than point
oh
0.5.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
it's all about the flow of air. We got Jose Ramos popping in. Yeah, it's about the flow of air. So if you have a nice smooth flow, it will freaking it could make a huge difference, way more than point 0.5. And Tyler goes, and in our hobby, that can make or break you. Oh, absolutely, at a
Oh
couple of
yeah.
tenths. Can be, depends on the application, really. Um, so just so you guys know, some of the stuff I used to do when I first started doing DV drag is I would make like plastic versions of my box and run them in a bathtub to see how the water flowed through the box and try to improve the water flow. And it was a way because air is a liquid, right? It's a fluid. So that is one way you can learn about box design is, throw something that's similar into a tub of water and move some water around in it, and you'll see where you create eddies, and you'll see, how well the water flows out, like if it's forced
Hmm.
out or if it gets trapped and creates a vacuum seal into a certain spot. So those are things you can look at and learn by running water through a simulated box. What about flowing over
Flowing.
carpet and seat fabric? Um, that's why back in the days, and the reason we have the rule about no go kart seats is because guys were throwing hard plastic seats in there. Um,
Yeah. But do you remember in the CRXs, people used to put like those beads on this, like those brown wooden beads over the seats? It
correct.
would Yeah, did that help it?
It
I
it
don't know why
did.
nobody does that now. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever tried it or if it like not really helped.
So I believe in Rusty's vehicle, it
Hmm.
was like 2 to 3 tenths depending on elevation.
Wow. Yeah, if you
So
guys are running in the street classes, got a CRX, try hit your local AutoZone and get those beaded seat
yeah,
covers and
wooden beaded seats, seat covers,
yeah.
the old cab beads.
Is that what they are?
I don't know. The beads are old school tech, according to Robert Carey.
Ah,
Terry used them. Uh,
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Terry Brox. Is that the Terry he's talking
Hmm.
about?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's the Terry he's talking about or not.
But I don't think he's used them in like newer builds or
Yeah.
current builds.
Eh,
So I wonder if maybe it wasn't that big of a gain or
Yep. And
maybe it hindered.
Matthew says a lot's been forgotten, and he says yes, it was
Yeah.
Terry Brox.
Hmm. Hmm.
Ethan X Mendez says, "Let me borrow some beads." Hey, now I'm just saying, these are beads for the seat, not the kind of beads you buy at Adam and Eve. Okay,
Oh,
so don't be putting those in your car because
yeah.
that's just wrong. But yeah, no, like I said, that's like some of the stuff that we used to do.
Yeah.
Um, for me personally, you can when you do a bathtub, and say you have something like the rhino lined plastic, and run your things. Hold on, wait a second. Golf balls help in certain spots. That is not
Hmm.
wrong. I will say, I have tested filling voids in boxes with golf balls, and it did not hurt my score.
Wait, like actual golf balls you would
Yes.
put into your box?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird. I can recall Chad Geary.
Uh huh.
In one build he did, he put a bunch of little indentations on the port round to kind of mimic a golf
Yes.
ball's dimples, and I think that kind of sucked. But I mean, the way you're talking about it's a different application. You're putting actual
It's
golf balls in like corners and stuff, or hmm.
somewhat. So where I found I had an eddy, I would throw a golf ball in that space,
Hmm.
and it would help. It would improve the airflow. The whole
Ah.
idea behind a golf ball's physics actually is those little dimples
Hmm.
create a little bit of lift on the ball, so it stays
Hmm.
in flight longer. So um, that's what that's about.
Yeah.
So when it created an eddy, oh, what's an eddy?
What's-
So that's not an unfair question. Alonzo Ramirez says that he remembers something about that.
Oh yeah, it. I think it was in Sean's car. Sean he had a, I guess, build in his work truck, and then they
Okay,
just tried it in his car, and I don't think it worked out too well.
okay. So for people that don't know what an eddy is, and I'm trying to do this in a fashion that when it goes on the iHeartRadio and iTunes and all that, people can understand. So it's where a the airflow does not flow straight; it flows in a circle. So it hits a wall
Hmm.
and circles, and then just creates a like a mini little tornado in a corner. And so all that airflow just stays
Stuck.
there.
Yeah.
And when you have an eddy inside, when you have an eddy inside of a box, what it actually does is it removes volume from the box and changes the tuning on the box. So if you have an eddy, once it compresses enough air inside that box to where you got some kind of compressed air in there, it could shrink your box up. So now instead of being we'll just say a 2 cubic foot box, it now has been with those eddies that created in that box. You might be all the way down to like 1.1 cubic feet inside the box, which is going to change your port tuning and all that other stuff too.
Hmm.
Justin says an Eddie's a Edward for short. Matthew says Eddie's a guy across the street from you that borrows beer from you.
Yeah.
And Tristan says, Jeffrey, that design that you're talking about with the golf ball design in the
Hmm.
port, That's an old design by B&W.
Oh, what is B&W?
Is that like the remember the B&W was the old microphones? Remember? Oh no,
Oh,
those are B&K.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
right.
know what
B&K.
B&W is.
Hmm.
Lewis TVC says, "What's up, guys?" Um,
Hey.
so let's see. Tristan says, "I was wondering if anyone competed in DB drag with the T-line box." So yes, a lot of people have tried T-line boxes. The I think a T-line box is a decent idea if you are doing like cyclone or base race, because the idea behind a T-line box is it has a little broader bandwidth. So that's really a good idea. DB drag, when you're trying to do a peak note, you're looking for a peak, and a T-line box tends to spread that peak out a little bit. So maybe one of those classes that has multiple frequencies being played might be really good. Michael Longstreet. So is doing 45s in a box corner to help battle eddies? Yes, that is exactly what the 45's there for. Um, uh, because so there's two eddies that can be created inside of a box. One eddy is the sound wave itself that comes off the back of the speaker, and then there's also the air itself. So you can so there's actually two eddies that you're fighting within a box, and those angles help with that. It's Bowers and Wilson is B&W Home
Ah,
Audio.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. So T boxes are slightly big, like a two-bedroom apartment for Jeffrey's size reference. Obviously, that's coming from Calvin. That he says you're short and small.
Yeah,
Weird.
fun size. I'm fun
You're fun
sized.
size. You ain't short
Fun
and small.
sized.
You're fun sized. But yeah, so cool thing is I'm back home now. You can see my background is back to the just this week in car audio, not the Calvin says fun size but lovable.
But lovable.
Yes. So I'm back home, set up all this stuff. We're gonna do date nights again with my wife on Thursday night, so we'll start that up again
Cool.
this week. So that's cool. Let's see. The subs create air. The 45s move that air towards the port to leave the enclosure. Kind of. Um, that's not wrong, but I think it oversimplifies it. Eric Hansen says you're vertically challenged.
Vertically challenged.
Yeah, but Calvin, if you probably outweigh Jeffrey by a little bit, but Jeffrey will take a roll with you on the mat.
Yeah,
Practice some
that's just his
jiu-jitsu.
beard. That's just his beard that's over.
That's over your weight.
Yeah, that's just his beard.
But yeah, no. So we're looking into getting some really cool stuff this year, and a lot of people doing a lot of things. Oh yeah, Calvin says he's just a tad bit over your weight.
And oh yeah.
Base race practice on Friday. Asking from Eric Hansen.
That's how it's looking. This
All
is an open invite for anyone who is in that area, in the Grapevine, Texas area. You guys want to come practice base race? It's just all in good fun. It's nothing serious. Hit me up. We can set something up. Gonna have hopefully if the weather holds up and it's good. Might have one this Friday.
Oh, cool.
Eric will be there. My wife will be there. I'll be there.
How close is Eric to that spot?
I don't think he's that far at all. I want to say like probably 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been wanting to try this new not really a setup, but so I got a term lab, Roger's got a term lab, and we're wondering if we could do like four person base race qualifying. I don't know, is that something you tried before, Doug? Or
so you can do 4 people on your term lab at one
yeah,
time. You can.
Okay, okay. We never really tried more than two.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe three at the most, but I don't know if
Four's tough to get in and out.
yeah,
That's why it doesn't work at a show.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So,
But if we could hook up four
yes,
meters and just
and run
run
it at the same time.
qualifying,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. But as far as bracketing, it's still
Yes, the
lane
bracketing
one,
you
lane
couldn't do.
two.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
right, right.
Calvin says Jeffrey would mess you would mess him up. And Mendez says Jeffrey's a ninja. I want to hit this
Ninja.
one real quick too. Tristan says he forgot to tell me that he read Steve Decker's book. The guy is
Oh,
amazing.
cool.
Um, uh, Michael says nothing serious with the thing. Everything good from the fire at the warehouse. That was crazy. Um, so nothing, no issues with Crossfire. Other than the building itself was damaged, but none of the Crossfire product or its portion of the building wasn't
And
damaged,
it's
correct?
no, nothing's been damaged, but there is severe smoke smell.
Oh, yeah.
So and the restoration company is there now.
Hmm.
They're I don't know how they're gonna I'm pretty sure they can
So,
handle that.
yeah, they can. So do you know the name of the restoration company?
No,
There's
I
Balfour is the leader in the world in
is it?
restoration. Yeah,
They're blue. Their trucks are blue. I
it
don't know if
doesn't
that
mean
matters.
anything.
I know green is Servco or
Oh,
Serve
okay.
something. Yeah, but they're all blue trucks, vans. So and it was funny because we just got a shipment of the Crossfire hoodies.
Oh,
And so if you order a Crossfire hoodie, it might be lightly scented smoke. We're calling it barbecue scented hoodie.
hoodies.
So with every hoodie, you're gonna get that barbecue smell straight from Texas. So
Yeah. Justin says fire sale, everything half off.
a good thing that wasn't the case, but
Yeah. Eric Hansen says he's about 25 minutes away. He said
ah.
after work, if weather allows, he will be there. And Mendez says he'll bring his term lab also. 16-man base race.
Wow. I always wondered if we could do like a 16-man bracket, which I mean, I'm sure
Woo!
that that's possible, but yeah, that's gonna be pretty crazy.
Matthew Busby says he's building a new amp rack tonight to hold two B-Buzz audio 5Ks. Let's see here. File a smoke claim on my charger. Let's see here. Smokes damage sucks. He ain't wrong.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I thought you didn't go to CES because I seen the live of the trailer in a trailer. Oh, for the fire.
Oh, I
Crossfire can hold a cell, calling it a smoky line.
smoky line,
Yeah.
lightly scented.
Yes. What were you gonna say?
Um, oh, so I actually got back. So I went, and then when I got back, Roger went. So
Oh, that's right. I remember
yeah.
you telling me that. He says like coil smell in the seats. It sticks around.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a distinct difference between coil and smoke from a fire, but
Yes. Mr. Mendez says 12 men, not 16. Quick maths. But I mean, Jeffrey is aging, so with
what?
3 times 4 is 12, not
Oh,
16.
yeah, if you do it that way, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean like if they all qualify, you could run a 16-man bracket. There's an
All at the
option
same time.
on yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you're
That's what I
curious
meant.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be crazy with all the ties. Eric Hansen
Yeah.
says he's doing a new system soon. Yep. If you don't tie, you're out. That's simple.
You know what? So that's kind of crazy. We're talking about crazy ties.
Uh huh.
Um, when you qualify, so if you're like in eighth place and there's like so many other ties for eighth, you got to do a runoff.
Hmm.
That's when luckily we haven't had to do that. I don't recall as far as finals anyway, but
Yeah, we had
yeah,
one this
that
last year.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I know one year we did that. I think we were in we were
I I
it
think
was outdoors. This was like in Florida back when it was in during
okay.
spring break nationals.
Okay.
I remember we were
I
there
didn't do that
all
one.
night trying to do a runoff because everybody tied. I think this was back when it was only tenths and not the
Yes.
hundreds.
Yep.
So yeah, that wow, good thing the hundreds was implemented because I can recall doing runoffs well into the evening, well into the night. So yeah.
Yep. Justin Stolman, anything going to change in 2024 DB drag classes, changes, or
Hmm.
anything getting dropped? I think realistically, the only thing that's going to change that's going to be noticeable will be we may rename some of the classes in freestyle. But other than that, a couple of rule clarifications, but I
Yeah.
don't see what we've been discussing. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any real changes.
Hmm.
Did you see anything that had any real changes?
As far as like adding or um, eliminating a class, no,
Yeah,
no.
me either.
So it's just more clarification,
Yep.
stuff like that.
And
So
then renaming the classes
right,
in freestyle possibly.
yeah. I'm wondering if so. Are we going to keep this the quantity of classes?
I think the classes are going to stay exactly the same, and I
Hmm.
think the way I understood it is we're just going to rename the existing classes to
I
something
wonder if we
different.
should just combine the pro stock.
So I'm a big fan of that,
Yeah.
but overseas
Hmm.
they saw a
Uh,
lot of
like 5K wall or something, right?
yeah,
That
they
was.
saw a lot of people in a lot of different classes. So,
Hmm.
but anyway, hey, so we're running up on the hour. That was
Wow,
cool.
already?
Yeah, all right, it's pretty cool though. Hey, and I'll tell you right now, Tristan will tell you after reading that book from Steve Deckert. If you guys get an opportunity, go to his website, deckware.com. Um, Eric Hansen apparently is watching the Eagles and the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's up 16-9.
You can't watch the Cowboys anymore.
Yeah, you can't watch the Cowboys. How about them boys? As a matter of fact,
Bummer.
I sent my son-in-law a text. He's a big Cowboys fan. When it was 27-0, and they scored almost right away, right?
Hmm.
And they
Hmm.
scored their seven. He goes, they still got life. Like an 80-year-old woman, he says, like an 80-year-old woman with
Oh
on a
man.
ventilator with COVID in California, but there's still life. Eric says, don't start that. So them boys went down. Oh yeah. See, I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna get into it. I'll let everybody else jump on with them. So, but anyway, yeah. So we're up on our hour. Jeffrey, why don't you tell us about your upcoming show? Potentially, what's going on here?
So this Sunday, Sunday, January 21st at
Mm-hmm.
Crossfire headquarters, we're gonna have a DB drag event. It's gonna start at 11 a.m. I've been checking out the weather. It's kind of like back and forth, you know. Like one day it's like perfectly fine, no precipitation, and then some days it seems like a little bit that's kind of passing through the evening, which we'd hope not to run into that, but so I guess just gonna either way it's gonna happen unless there's the white stuff. Maybe that Arctic blast is gonna bring some more of the snow, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe it might be a little difficult. But if it's just rain, we have provisions. We can have it in the back where most of it we're gonna have, canopies, tents up and stuff like that, so you won't get entirely too wet when you're bringing it up to the
Is it
lanes.
multi-org
Thank
again or
yes,
okay?
multi-org as well. So again, USAC, if you want to get your last minute points, definitely do so this Sunday. Shane Chandler is going to be handling USAC, so definitely hit him up for more info. For DB Drag, check out dbdragracing.com /calendar. And I think some people are adding the show to their calendar now. So if you want to get that extra bonus point, definitely do so on the DB Drag website because you never know. You're going to need all those points you can get. So,
Yep. Michael Longstreet says, please try to post what time qualifying ends so I'll know if I
Ah,
can make it.
okay.
I don't know with you, Jeffrey. So if I were to start at 11, my qualifying would end at 1. I always do 2 hours of qualifying. Um,
Hmm.
but Robert Carey says usually 3 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, we could stretch it out too. But I think Michael does base race and base race we can usually push back a little bit as opposed to like DB drag, but kind of play by ear type thing. We can kind of jump around, do some different classes and stuff. So
Yep.
it's not entirely out of the question, but definitely we'll let you know.
Yep. Eric Hansen says we don't pick on my bowling scores. Hey, you don't worry about that. There ain't no bowling
Uh-oh.
scores to pick on. And if you got a pocket full of money, you can come and figure out how good my bowling scores are.
Ah.
Eric Hansen says he needs all the points he can, and Michael says he'll keep an eye out for that. Also, the other way is you can message Jeffrey when you're on your way and say, "Hey, kind of where is it?" And Jeffrey's pretty good about responding to text even when he's doing a show. Just I'll text him 40 times during a show just to screw with him. Um, Eric Henson says he doesn't bowl. Everybody bowls. It's the most participated sport in the world.
Is
So
it?
it is.
Oh, I had no idea.
So they might not bowl well, but everybody bowls. Um,
Don't play
Eric
with
says he likes playing with balls.
He
Or did I
does?
read that wrong?
Uh,
Um, anyway, yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything. I've been talking to a couple of my locations. We may have something come up in February, March, just to kind of kick off the season. More of just kind of looking at the weather, seeing what's going on. We're
mhm.
going to uh, we'll look around the USACI schedule because USACI has a pretty robust schedule this time of year. So we'll kind of bounce around them a little bit, and if that's the directions we need to go. Anyway, once
Oh,
again,
real quickly,
oh yes, sir.
before we sign off, um, I did put a couple of SoCal events, Southern California events on the DB Drag Racing calendar.
Okay.
We have February 10th. It's going to be a Saturday. It's going to be at Toon Time Stereo, DB
Oh,
Drag, sponsored by Gorilla Hertz. And then the following weekend, February 17th, it's going to be a Saturday. We're back in Bloomington with Robert Gallegos, Team Hertz Feelings. We got a 1X event going on that day as well. And then the following weekend, wow, it seems like I'm spreading myself pretty thin for the month of February. So February 24th and 25th, that's
oh,
yeah,
that
February
that'll be
24th and 20.
Vegas
Yes, it'll be
because I'll be
Vegas.
there.
It'll be the showdown. So we got a bunch of shows lined up for SoCal, as well as well, I guess the West Coast, right? You can
Yeah,
consider Vegas as the West Coast.
yeah.
So we got some West Coast shows going. Um, Definitely, if you guys want to participate in finals, there's going to be we're working on satellites right in California this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Wow, if you, I was trying to calculate all the points, but we're working the 1X, 2X part out. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of shows in February for DB Drag, one weekend after the other, February 10th, February 17th, and then February 24th and 25th. Definitely check out dbdragracing.com calendar for all the details.
Yep. And you get an opportunity to go see your grandbaby.
Yes. More importantly.
Yeah, and shocking how fast they grow up at that age.
And you know what? Eric here says, when is the show in February?
Yep.
That's what we're trying to work out. Um, we could either, I'm assuming he's talking about for Texas.
I would
Um, we
suspect
could
so.
we could either have it, and this is gonna be kind of stacking them because we could do one February 4th, which I'll be in town. I'll be in Texas for that, but that's just 2 weeks away from the January 21st show happening this weekend. So we could do that if
He says
we could put it
yes.
out there. Oh, well, I'm sure he wants to do it. I'll mention it at the show and probably some posts here and there if
Okay.
people are willing to, come to a show 2 weeks after just going to a show, which I'm sure they'd be fine with that.
Yeah, he said
And
he's
I'll be
fine
fine
with
with that.
that.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's done. But we'll see what the general consensus is because if it doesn't happen on the 4th, guess what? We might not have a Crossfire
Till
show for
March.
February. So
Yeah.
yeah, which I mean, maybe it's a good thing to kind of take a break every once in a while. But if everybody wants to have a show in February, the best time would be February 4th for the Crossfire show. So just kind of be on the lookout. We'll kind of play by ear and see how that all goes out. So
All right. Sounds good.
yeah,
Well, Eric Hansen says no breaks.
no breaks. He wants to be the points champion this year.
He does. He's working hard.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Once again, hey, thank you guys for tuning in this week. We'll have somebody next week. I had a couple people not get back to me in time.
Yeah, and he made it to the comments.
And he made it to the comments. That was nice of him. So anyway, we do have a couple other people that we're talking to come on next week, and we'll see who we can get. I'm working on some different things to get different people on here. Don Hebig and some other like high end. Eric Hansen says he'd like to be on the show.
He was on the show,
He was.
but it was at finals, and we
Oh,
pulled him.
it was. Oh, it was the short one, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was...
Mel Valadez finally pops in.
What's up,
Sup?
Mel?
So anyway, we'll work on something. We can get Eric on here one week. That wouldn't hurt our
Sure.
feelings.
Yeah.
Have him talk about and kind of put
Give
it
us his
out there.
base race tips and
Yeah,
secrets.
put it out there so that all the Tennessee base racers can
Roast them.
come roast him in the comments. So, but all right, guys. Once again, we are out of here. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to our
Yes.
sponsors, eBox, which is Eric Hansen, Voodoo Customs, and Crossfire Car Audio. If you guys get the opportunity, support those who support things you like to do. Once again, we will see you guys next week at 5:30 California time, the only time that matters. We are out of here. Peace.